Welcome to the Solemn Yu-Gi-Oh channel where we discuss everything collecting and investing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today we are having a look at the biggest sales in 2020 when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you know or don't know, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vintage market has been exploding. If you look at January to now, there's cards who have grown 300, 400, 500, 600%. It's insane. Even just the last 2 months, we've seen like doubling and tripling of certain cards. And so for the longest time, people thought like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! There's nothing valuable there because of the reprints and stuff like that. And so time and time again, that has been proven wrong. And now we're seeing some really big sales. And so we go over those. So we had in October a LOB set in BGS PSA 10. I'm not sure on the specifics. It looks like there's some 9.5s in there. Best offer accepted at 99,000, but we'll see how much it actually was. We do that on Slab Watch. Boom, boom, bam. The actual price was $65,000. It looks like it was BGS 9.5s, and yeah, the complete set of all holos, at least it looks like. The rest raw is what it looks like to me. Yeah, so a complete LOB set where all the holos are graded 9.5 and higher. I saw 9 in there as well, but regardless, for 65k. Wowzers. So moving back into eBay, we had some God cards for 60... No, this is fake, okay? So, you know, while we can assume a lot of stuff from January to now has moved like 500% and so forth, this sale, it would be like 5,000%. That is, I don't know, I'm gonna call BS on that one. Sometimes you gotta be rational on this stuff, especially with how high the pops are in God cards. Like, I like God cards, but be aware the pop is high. Then we have a first edition wavy LOB Blue Eyes selling for $47,000. Same old LOB Blue Eyes. We had a Cyberstein. Yeah, sell for $30,000, a PSA 10, and then a 9.5 sell for $20,000. We have a LOB box selling for 19.5, another LOB box for 17.2 thousand. LOB Blue Eyes, first edition PSA 9, selling for 14,600. Another LOB Blue Eyes, this time a BGS 9 for 12,350. A BGS 9 Shonen Jump Cyberstein for 11,223. Man, 2020 has been crazy. Then we had a Portuguese Blue Eyes at 10k. Nah, we're gonna check the actual price here. So a Portuguese SDK, first edition PSA 10, and it actually was bought for, oh, okay, 1,749. Then a Red Eyes Black Dragon first edition LOB PSA 10 for $10,000. And some Raws. Holy shit. Blue Eyes White Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon, LOB first, pristine. I don't know. Once again, this is a bit of an odd listing. Like, it says plus more, so it's possible with more pictures. There were like other cards in this deal. I definitely don't want to judge there. A Metal Raiders first edition sealed booster box at 10,000. That's odd. Like, last I checked, the value on Metal Raiders sealed first edition boxes like 5.6k, in that range somewhere. We saw another box at 6.6k like 2 days before its bid, but then the actual seller posted a picture of the back where it had holes in it, and so suddenly people retracted their bids. So I can see it being higher than the last sale price of 5.6k, but it being almost double, I don't know. I mean, if it's sold for that, cool, but it's always hard to say with eBay, you know? You can't say like, oh, every sale on eBay is fake, like, get the fuck out, but you gotta like be rational, use your mind a little bit and see when things are off. Like, this would be almost double the market value from like a month ago, and like a lot of things did double in a month. Be aware of that. But that's an odd one. I don't know. I mean, if it did, cool. If it didn't, all right. So this injection Fairy Lily, it says 9,999, but actually it was 5,000. So that was an all-time high for PSA 10 first edition injection Fairy Lily from LOD for $5,000. Then we had a Dark Magician DDS PSA 10 sell for 10,000, which is mind-blowing to me. A corrected Dark Paladin first edition, best offer accepted. Let's see how high that was. Once again, we go to Slab Watch. We can check what the actual offer sold at. It sold at $7,000. Okay. So $7,000 for corrected art first edition PSA 10 Dark Paladin. Then we had some prize cards. $9,600 for the raw Des Volscal from Shonen Jump. I remember this not being a perfect card because I specifically didn't bid on it for a reason. I mean, maybe in a few years we'll be like, holy shit, what a steal that person got. But for now, I didn't end up bidding because there was something wrong with the card. I don't really remember. Then we had a Shrink, raw Shrink from Shonen Jump, once again selling for $9,204. Now be aware, Shonen Jump prize cards are relatively rare. And certain ones were given out so rarely, like the Shrink, like the Desfall Scalp, like the Crush card, like the Gold Sark, that a lot of people are looking for them. So even for a raw one, 9.2k. Crazy stuff. Then we had a Magician's Force First Edition Dark Magician Girl PSA 10 and at 9.1k. No, it sold for more after that. I know a person buying it for 10k. I also saw offers before even higher. Again, this is one of those cards that's super iconic. It's the female card. So if you're gonna simp for a female card, it's gonna be Dark Magician Girl. And it also doesn't come on the market very often. Like, people who buy this one don't tend to be willing to get rid of it. Then we had a PSA 10 DDS Dark Magician for 9k, but it was best offer accepted, so we can once again check for how much it actually sold. It did sell higher after this sale though. So, oh, at 6.7, wow. So if you bought at 6.7 and then a few like weeks later you have a $10,000 card, crazy stuff right there. But again, DDS is not as rare as some people would have you believe. And then we had a MFC Dark Magician Girl PSA 10 gem mint for 9,000. For 9,000, but it's not first ed. What the fuck? December 22, so this is only a few days ago. So either the market has been going up way more or something's going on here. Once again, don't just take prices at face value. I agree with cards like going up. That has been happening, but holy hell, MFC Unlim. 9k. Then we had a YuGiOh Starter Deck Kaiba Blue Eyes SDK First Edition PSA 9. Best offer accepted. Let's see for how much. It sold for, wow, 4.6k? What the fuck? So the way I usually look at prices, if I like try to predict where something is at, is I will triple the value of a 9 to know what the 10 is, or I would divide the 10 by 3 to see what the 9 is. Now, this is not an exact science. Some cards, you know, will be more or less, or maybe something so rare that it doesn't matter as much, and so forth. Like, again, it's not a hard and fast rule, but if I don't have sales data, because, you know, certain cards are just that rare, I will usually use that triple trick to, like, figure out a ballpark, and then we can still go from there. If you had a starter deck Kaiba for 4.6, you do that times 3, that would mean you have a 12 plus 1.8, so that would put it a 10 at 13.8, which is funny because I know 10 SDKs are getting offers between 13 and 14k, so that actually makes sense. Then we had the second National Convention First Prize Masahiro. Like, I don't know this card. Again, I am not a big OCG guy. These look interesting to me. Bandai Jump, like, is this some kind of prize card for... I don't know, it's odd to me. If you know something about this National Convention Prize, educate me in the comments down below. Like, I'm very willing to learn about OCG. It's just, you know, not my area of expertise, and so I don't like to get loud about stuff when I don't feel comfortable about it. Here, once again, third prize of the second National Convention. It's a weird one. I don't know, these three are weirding me out. If you know more, let me know. Then a full DDS set for 8,500. I assume they were lower grade because this would be an absolute steal at 10s. Then we had YuGiOh Starter Deck Kaiba and Yugi First Edition, and at 8.5 a few days ago. That's interesting. I don't want to call it a steal because you don't know if like your cards are coming out centered. However, given the value of SDK Blue Eyes, I don't know, like, you open them, if you're gonna get like a 9 or a 10, and if you're very unlucky an 8, but probably like more like a 9. So if you get a 9, you already have 4.6 just in your Blue Eyes. If you get a 10, you just hit the jackpot on this one. So I don't know, if you're a gambling man, this price might be fine, but still, it's mind-blowing how high that is. Then we had a BGS 9.5 Dark Paladin Corrected Art First Edition, 8,000. However, we're once again gonna check what it actually was accepted at. So we put it in a 9.5, baby. It sold for 6,000. That's actually pretty low compared to like what these tend to sell at. I think a lot of people are overvaluing this card, but again, some people might get real mad. Like, some people love this card. Then we had a DDS Blue Eyes 9.5 sell for 8,000. A Wavy First Edition LOB Blue Eyes Raw sell for 8,000. Another DDS for 8,000. An LOB First Edition Blue Eyes PSA 8 sell for 7,000. $877. Wow. A sealed collection someone bought for 7.8. I don't know which boxes are in there. Complete first edition LOB set, wavy, below 7.7. Wow, these must have been beat up. Or the person gonna steal, that's possible. But you notice here it's already being relisted, because like at October 10, and then later November 14. So who knows? Maybe the first guy didn't pay for this. Maybe they're all beat up. Maybe they were returned. I don't even know. A lot selling for 7K. A United Nah, is that the promo from... Let's quickly check what it actually was accepted at. I want to see that. Because that was a 10. And it was like pretty limited. We'll see how much it actually sold for. 6,500? Holy hell! That is insane. I think not many people realize that a lot of these were just received by people and then instantly sent in for grading. Now, they are limited supply. Be aware of that. Like, very limited. I think only like 280 people actually entered that giveaway. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but the 6.5 feels very off on this one, even though like the entire story and stuff is really interesting. Then we had a Shonen Jump prize card, Doom Caliber Knight, sell for 7K. I actually was pretty interested in this, but I don't really care for the art, so obviously I didn't go for it. But still, this is a very rare card. Even at a 6, like, you're still looking at a very, very exclusive card. Here, Dark Paladin, corrected art once again. A DDS set, another DDS Blue Eyes. Man, DDS Blue Eyes, you have so many of these in high grade. Pharaonic Guardian for 6.5 a few days ago. That feels off. 6.5 for Pharaonic feels very off. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Second page. Let's see. Morphing Jar Tournament Pack. Tournament pack, super rare. Like, people always ask me, like, talk about tournament pack. And I mean, I'm not a tournament pack collector. I'm aware of like its rarity. I'm aware of its issues also, like the centering and so forth. The quality control on them was awful. So like, I appreciate the history, also them being part of Yu-Gi-Oh's history, competitively speaking. But I was never really drawn to them. As much as I love Morphing Jar as a card, Needleworm as well, but still. So I can't really comment on them quite as easily because I'm not as drawn to them. So then we have World Championship sealed envelopes. We had a LOB first edition Dark Magician PSA 9 sell for almost 6K. A lot for 5.6. Wow. We've already gone over some of these prices in past stuff. Here's a fake Blue Eyes. I can't believe this sold. That is so sad. A Master Collection set. No way. Why would any... I always love these listings, like low pop. Yeah, because no one ever cared to send them in. Maybe demand, like people will see this price and start sending them in like crazy and realize like a lot of the Master Collection stuff isn't that rare. Maybe it's just not rare because it wasn't that loved for the longest time and so not many people sent it in and you just have like the self-fulfilling prophecy. Maybe these cards will go up, especially because they're like very fancy secrets. So if you want a secret printing of some of these cards, this is your way to get them. I don't know though. Tough to call. I think 5K is a lot for these. Another DDS, a Black Rose PSA 9 Ghost. Wow, let's check that out. I want to see how much it actually sold for. PSA 9 first edition Ghost Black Rose. Like, I love Black Rose as a card. Okay, so it looks like it sold for 3K. That's a lot. Like, ghosts are rare, especially the first edition ones, so I respect it. But PSA 9, 3K, that's still quite high, you know? It was in December this month still. We had a Metal Raiders Black Skull Dragon. Let's see how much this sold for. Yu-Gi-Oh has been going crazy, absolutely insane. 3.5K for that PSA 10. All right. A Pharaoh Servant box for 5K. No way. Let's see how much that was actually. 4K. Okay, 4K for a Pharaoh Servant box. Yata for not 5K. Let's see how much it actually sold for. Yata first edition PSA 10 from LOD, the Centering Nightmare. 3.5K, okay. Like, it took a while for this one to actually go up the same way Lily did. Obviously, Lily and Yata, the secrets for LOD, awful centering, so getting 10s for them is super hard. And for the longest time, Lily was the front runner, obviously still is, because it's the female waifu aspect right there. And Yata just didn't move, and now it did. So 3.5 for a Yata is pretty high. A DDS, a Tri-Horned, another LOB first Blue Eyes. Man, LOB first Blue Eyes is the most liquid card on the planet. SDK as well, honestly. Like, SDKs are flying off the market, DDS as well. The thing with DDS though is that so many people have DDS Blue Eyes that you know, they just sell more often because they're always available. Right here, December 21st, so we had 4.7. Once again, same price as we saw before for SDK first edition PSA 9. So once again, you do times 3, you get what could be the 10 price. Now, of course, a 10 hasn't been for sale in so long, we can't really be sure. But hey, I own one, maybe I'm biased. PSA 8 first edition starter deck Kaiba, December 22nd. I want to know what the fuck this sold for, because the PSA 8, so the big thing with SDK is that back in the day, first edition, okay, was relatively rare, first edition, but it wasn't uber rare. A lot of kids still had those starter decks. The reason the minty ones are rare is because all the kids destroyed them. Now, if you get into near mint territory, 7s and 8s, be aware, those aren't quite as rare. Plenty of kids did, you know, kinda take care of their blue eyes. And if you kinda take care of a blue eyes, it could still get a 7 and 8. And so it's very possible, despite, again, first edition being more rare than the Unlim, obviously, most kids had Unlim, it's very possible that the pop on 7s and 8s will grow quite substantially as people start sending them in. For the longest time they didn't, because they noticed, well, 7s and 8s just aren't worth that much. Now they are becoming worth that much. The near mint first at blue eyes category was always a, oh, I'm going to put this in my blue eyes deck as a holy grail trump card, not a, I'm going to grade this. And so I don't know, 7s and 8s, let's see how much it actually is right now. 3.5 for an 8, holy shit. I'd be very careful around 7s and 8s. I obviously feel much safer in first than in Unlim, but still, I don't know how much that pop is gonna grow. Now we had an uncut sheet from Pharaoh Servant. That's a really cool one. Let's see how much that sold for. So if you don't know, the uncut sheets were given out at events. And so if you did well, you could get an uncut sheet from the factory, essentially. Look at that. Crazy stuff. Also has a 1000 dice restrict. Sold for 1.6. Okay. You know, if you want a cool piece of history in your living room, 1.6 for an uncut sheet of Pharaoh Servant is pretty fair, I want to say. It's a really cool thing to have. Will it go up in value much? I don't know. Okay, first edition PSA 10, a glossy Exodia, 4.5. Another one, 4.5. A DDS full set, 4.5. I don't know, probably lower grade. Here we have the 3 God cards for 4.5. Interesting, only one bid. Switzerland, so you already know that you're kind of like cutting off the US market a bit with that. A lot of US people probably didn't even see this listing. PSA 6 LOB first edition, crazy stuff right here. PSA 10 Morphing Jar Tournament Pack 4. Wow. Look at this. Completely like off the card Celtic Guardian for $4,400. That is insane. I'm not a misprint collector. Again, people have asked me to make videos about misprints, and I'd love to, like a Jinzo jar, crazy stuff like that. It's interesting, but I personally don't collect it. I don't know if it has like long-term stability quite as much, because, you know, it's a niche within a niche, but it does fascinate me a lot. Look at that. PSA 9 Red Eyes for 4.4 in November. First edition Secret Rare Blue Eyes Toon for $4,250. Here, 10,000 Dragon. Oh my god. Oh my god. We are gonna check what offer this was accepted at. I'm ready to die inside. 4,175. Wow. Once that pop report starts getting fleshed out, and like it already has been, like 10s are essentially free. Honestly, if you pay 4,175, why don't you just buy 2 near mints, send them in, you're gonna have a 10 and a 9, sell the 9. Like, on average, of course, it's not like confirmed, but so far like half the 10,000 Dragon pop report is 10s. And it's growing every day. It's absolutely insane. Some LOB boxes, a Dark End Dragon, Shonen Jump prize card for 4,000. Super Minerva for 4,000. That blows my mind. A first edition MRL Blue Eyes Toon for 4,000. Best offer though. Oh, 3,200. All right. BGS 9 Stardust Dragon, first edition for 4,000. Crazy. Stardust and Black Rose are really the grails when you're looking at 5D. Like 5D, people sometimes ask, oh, what about 5Ds? Why are you only talking about dual monsters and GX and so forth? And like, yeah, 5D has quite some cool cards, but so far, all of the interest in value is in like what, 2 cards? It's Stardust, Black Rose in Ghost first edition, and that is where all the money is flowing. Now, some other Ghosts are still wanted, but you know, when you start seeing how much demand there is, it's all in those 2. And so that makes me a bit afraid. If you look at something like a Rage of Ra box, right? You go for the Ghost Rare Ra, and that's it. Everything else is just trash in that set. Not from a playing perspective, maybe. I don't know. Might be actually. But from a collector's perspective, everyone's looking for that one Ghost Rare. And in 5Ds, it's like, it's Ghost Rares or bust. And within Ghost Rares, it's very often Black Rose Stardust or bust. Again, though, some of them are different. I know there's, what's it called? Majestic Star Dragon. Normally it's like blue-yellow. That one is also wanted. I've seen that break some really insane price records. But you know, from a fan demand standpoint, it's all in the Stardust and the Black Rose. If you look past singular cards, it's all in the Ghost Rares. And that makes me nervous, very nervous to buy Ultras. Because if you're looking at the people with the big bucks, you know, spending that really insane money on those collectibles, they're going for the best. They're not going for the Ultras. They want the best. And, you know, if there's only 2 cards that are considered the best, very, very finicky. But again, maybe there's some opportunity there. I don't know. Another Pharaonic Guardian. First edition, under 3.8. Let's see what it actually sold for. 3.2 for a Pharaonic Guardian. Alrighty. I remember this box. So cool. A Majestic Star. See? Here we go. Majestic Star sold 9.5 for 3.8. So once again, 9.5 should be similar price range as a 10, maybe slightly under. And you're looking at almost the same price as the Stardust and the Black Rose sold in 9s. So if they were on equal footing, you would have to like times 3 this almost, maybe times 2. But it isn't. So it's really like Black Rose and Stardust, and then the tier below is the Majestic Star, and I'm sure there's a few more, but it really drops off hard from there. Then for 3.8, we have our Shonen Jump prize card, once again, Dark and Dragon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Starter Deck Kaiba, SDK First Edition, PSA 9 for 3.8. That's a fair bit lower than the other ones. This is earlier this month. Then here, another 10,000 Dragon selling for a really high price. Absolutely insane. I hope people who buy these really want them in their collection and are not just like thinking that they'll go to the moon even more, because cents for these are like available as hell. I know a lot of people have clicked off by now because the very long videos. We're currently on the 10,000 Dragon page. Look how many are available. PSA 10 First Edition. Here's one for 4.3. Here's one for 6K. Here's one for 4.9. Here's one for 4.9. Here's one for 10K. Here's one for 4.5. Here's one for 5K. That is insane. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 listings all at once. And they ain't moving. And more people are going to get their subs back. Be aware, PSA is backed the fuck up. Look at any other popular card. Look at PSA 10. You're going to have 1 listing or 0 listings of that card. Here, 7. The supply of this is insane. I would be extremely careful. Does that mean there's no growth? No, sure. Like if this thing crashes because of that oversupply, I might buy one because it's a cool piece of history. But I think the hype is already priced into this price, and I would be very, very careful. Unless, you know, enough speculators enter and like bid that up from there, purely hoping for even more growth. That exists. A lot of markets are built like that, so be aware of that. I think that's where we're gonna end it. I hope you found this interesting. This was basically a 2020 market recap. If any major listings still happen the coming 3 days, because I'm filming this at 28, too bad. But as you notice, Yu-Gi-Oh! Vintage is absolutely on fire. Like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.